Hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop 1970. This is my review for a day. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, here we are. We are finally here on season 4 of my movie reviews. And this is going to be a way more fun movie review season thing than the last 3 movie seasons I did for a lot of movie reviews that I did here and there. But this time, at the beginning for my season 4 of my movie reviews, I'm finally gonna do my most important movie review that I've been dying to see in the last, I think, 274 days since I already saw, find out on Easter Sunday when they finally announced this movie that's coming on January 9, 2015. And yeah, it finally came true, and I was so happy for what the heck I seen. So, here we go, ladies and dudes. My 47th movie review is Taken 3. And this is one of Liam Neeson's best new films. But sadly, it's starting to become the next underrated film that Liam Neeson have ever made. And since I already know, thanks to those dumb movie reviewers, they bashed this poor movie way too much. And they gave it so many negative reviews. But as for me, today I will do this movie review in a very positive way. And I want to do this movie review my own way, not their way, if you know what I mean. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here is my 47th movie review of Taken 3. And I will do it in a 2-part event. So let's get this movie review started, shall we? So, to tell you the truth, ladies and dudes, I have nothing to say about the plot of the story. The plot of the story was pretty darn easy to know. It's all about when Brian Mills is going to get framed by a very terrible crime that he did not commit. About what had happened to his precious Lenny. His precious Lenny got murdered by some type of dude that we don't know of, and it still remains a mystery. Even we'll wait and see what happens to the near end of the film. And yeah, Brian Mills is on the run. He needs to gather as soon as he can and try to find the real killer before the cops, the CIA, the FBI's, whoever these people are, they're gonna hunt him down and take him down for the count. For real, if you know what I mean. So anyway, ladies and dudes, that's my whole entire plot of Taken 3. And everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? To tell you the truth ladies and dudes, and I swear I'm gonna prove those dumb movie reviewers wrong for what they say about this movie. To tell you the truth ladies and dudes, I will say Taken 3 deserves to be one of the best movies that we got so far in the year of 2015. I mean, this movie had truly blew me away. From the last 2 Taken films that I seen from a couple of years ago. I saw Taken 1 at 2011. I saw Taken 2 at 2012. And this year, I finally see Taken 3. I mean, this movie is so darn good. But I will say, it is a pretty near masterpiece film, if you know what I mean. I will say, I love the storyline. I like the character, except for one. It has really good action scenes, great drama, great score. And I will say about this movie, out of all the Taken movies that I did see from 1 to 3, I will say that Taken 3 is one of the best storytelling films of all time, period. I mean, this story does have a whole lot of heart And Liam Neeson is 100% right about this movie. This movie does have a whole lot of heart. And I'm so darn happy to see this movie. This movie really did touch my heart in so many ways. So, ladies and dudes, let's get on to the strongest points and the weakest points of Taken 3. So, what is my most strongest point for this movie? Well, I got a tie. Just a tie between the two best scores that I ever heard in this movie and one special song that will give you a big giant tear to your eye. Okay, let's go on with the two best scores in the whole entire movie. One score is called He Didn't Do It, and the other is Brian's Grief. And I was so darn blown away with these two amazing scores. I kept practicing these two amazing scores a lot of times. Maybe like 5 or 6 times. I was blown away with the sound, the rhythm, the tune. It was so darn beautiful. And it was so darn mind-blowing so many ways. I fell in love with these two scores. The two scores were definitely the best part about this movie. One score, He Didn't Do It. It was like 2 minutes and 24 seconds, if I remember right. When you listen to this score very carefully, ladies and dudes, when you listen to the score called He Didn't Do It, that score kind of reminds me of one of the scores that I heard from a Miyazaki film. I was kind of surprised when I listened to that score, and I didn't know it. It has a beautiful, edgy feel that kind of reminds me of a Miyazaki film. And I think that score kind of reminds me of Princess Mononoke. If you guys have or haven't seen that movie, that features a really epic score. I was so darn blown away with that score. It was pretty sad, pretty emotional, and it's all about when, everybody needs to know the truth that Brian Mills did not kill his precious Lenny. It was somebody else. And that score really did blow me away. And the other song called Brian's Grief, I also fell in love with that score. And to tell you the truth is, out of all the Taken scores that I heard that are pretty long or short, Brian's Grief is the most longest score that I ever heard in my life. And this score is an epic masterpiece. And I think this score is really about maybe when Brian Mills is so darn heartbroken because of what happened to his precious Lenny when she died. And I think he had a big giant breakdown about it. And he can't stop thinking about her. That score was so darn beautiful. I think the score that kind of reminds me of, it came from some type of orchestra that I can enjoy from this live stage or something. Or maybe the score came from like in the 90s movie, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I fell in love with these two scores. The two scores, Brian's Grief and He Didn't Do It, were definitely the best part about this movie. It truly blew me away. Big time. And the second strongest point in the movie is this song. The song called Suffering. I don't know what's called, but it's some type of artist I don't know of. And so I only heard that song for like 5 minutes, I think. It was a really good, sad song. It was so darn pure. It's so darn emotional, so darn sad. And it'll give you a big giant tear to your eye. I mean, for real. If you know what I mean. That song really did blow me away. And the best part I love about that song is that beautiful piano feel to it. It had a very lovely piano feel to it. You could listen to that song to believe it, it will blow your mind away. Big time. If you know what I mean. So the strongest points for this movie are the 2 best scores in the film and 1 good song that'll make you want to cry. Oh, this is my cat, Sadie. Sadie, say hello to everybody. Yeah, she's cute. Okay, anyway, let's get on to the most weakest points of the movie. And I only got 2 main weak points for the film. Okay, the first main weak point of the movie is, I will say this movie is a little bit slow. There's some slowness here and there. I think it's around dab in the beginning, middle of the film, I think. And, I have no idea what to say. So, yeah, once the slowness will stop, it'll go back to its fast pace. Oh, say, hold on a minute. I gotta do a movie review right here. Okay, and, the second main weak point in the movie for me is, here's one thing I'm disappointed for Taken 3. I'm so darn upset they did not add this most important moment for the movie is, where is when Brian and Lenore are going to have sex? I mean, they did not add it in the movie. And I'm so darn disappointed about it. I don't know why, this Luc Besson dude and that Mark guy, whoever his name is, you know who's the writers for Taken 3, where the heck is a sex scene between Brian and Lenore? I want to see a Brian Lenore sex scene so darn badly in a Taken film, and they did not put it in there. I was so darn upset, if you know what I mean. I want to see Brian and Lenore having sex so badly. If you guys want to eat a Kit Kat bar for it, if you know what I mean. And let's see, yeah, I wish there was a sex scene between Brian and Lenore, and maybe that way the storyline can make a little bit more sense if they could still work on Brian and Lenore's relationship. And maybe that way, if the sex scene was there, I'm sure Stuart will get frickin' jealous and find out what Lenore was doing all this time with her Brian, if you know what I mean. So anyway, yeah, those are my 2 main weak points for the film. Is there's no sex scene between Brian and Lenore, and the story can be a little bit slow sometimes. So, that's it for part 1, and I'll be back for part 2 as I tell you about were the most best characters in the whole entire movie, and truly my final thoughts of the film. So, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'll be right there.